So before in administration police after graduation, I remained as an instructor, training the trainees coming for 11 years as a trainer. So as a trainer, all the time you active with trainings and other training issues. And after that, I was involved in physical training, drills. Drills is the marching, and I know members of the public understand marching. They understand that drilling is. I used to be in sort of physical fitness. I used to be involved in co-curricular activities within the institution, sports. Okay, I think I had about 4 events involved in during my time when I was still young in service. So I was an active guy involved in music. I love music, sports, and of course the issue of fitness. And as you can see, I'm still fit. I'm maintaining my, health issues and also fitness. Then thereafter, when in 2003, I was posted to Isiolo. In Isiolo, I went there, and as when now I started field work in 2003, went to Isiolo and did the field work operations, and then finally I was posted to from Isiolo. I was posted to Nakuru.
You went to Isiolo in which capacity?
I was an inspector of police, of administration police in 2003. I was an inspector. I got my promotion in 2007 as a corporal after 4 years of service. 1993 employment, 1997, after 4 years, I got promoted to the rank of a corporal. And then 2000, I was promoted to the rank of a sergeant. And then 2002, I got promoted to the rank of an inspector of police. You can see the trend. Yeah, I was more like, the star was just there. And then I was moved to Isiolo. Isiolo, I went to Nakuru. Nakuru again, I was posted to a place called Keringit in Molo down there. So towards Elbagon, towards Keringit, and then Keringit again I was redeployed back to the district headquarters. Those days they used to call it district headquarters. After that, I was posted again to the college, Administration Police Training College. Yeah. So I went back there. This time I went for rapid deployment unit training. We were the ones to initiate start that unit. So we went to Manyani for training, so that we can now take over that unit. So after training, I found myself again, after that completion of the training, I was posted to Transmara. And then in Transmara is when now I realized I had some competencies, I had something in me that was unique. And it's when now I started the peace initiatives, because there was a conflict between the Maasai subclans. So it's when now I started now being involved in peace conflict resolutions activities, where I trained about 60 Maasai elders, and I actually came up with a proposal where some institutions funded it, and the administration police leadership at the national level actually came in and supported me. We trained Maasais themselves on modern and traditional conflict management strategies. So we trained them, and I took them back. When I took them back, they supported me in peace initiatives in mediating these Maasai clans. So that group was called Engishuyata. So that was 2004. So I engaged myself on peace issues, engaging the community engagement programs. I initiated myself. I realized there was need to actually involve the community in police work. Like you've been trained, but how do we engage the community? So I realized for us to win as police, there was need to engage the community so that they can own policing. They can have mechanisms to mediate themselves, at least understand their problems. And they, with Maasais, they had those leadership structures where they respect and their leadership structures. There's only that bringing leadership from this clan to this clan together and to resolve issues of conflict. And that's how I won, I actually succeeded in my time in Maasai land. And actually they respected me, those people. So whenever they see me, I remember an incident where they were fighting. With Maasais, I don't know nowadays why people have become crazy burning houses, But they used to blow those horns. And there was a specific place for fighting, like a football pitch. They would go there and then they can even go for a break and then come back. One time when they were fighting, so I told my officers, don't waste your time at least looking for these people fighting. Let's go arrest their women, their wives. So we arrested because they were wailing there, making this calling for men to go and fight. Okay. So what I did was, I said, these are the people who are mobilizing. They are meant to go and fight. So we arrested their wives, and we took them there because they are participating in, they are betting crime. So when those voices of calling men, mobilizing men stop, then the fight stopped. Yeah, because men were like, what is happening? Have they gone to kill your wives? Everybody, the other men went to their wives and the other ones went to their homes to look for what is happening. Then is when they realized their wives have been arrested. And that is how the role of women in conflict. I realized women had the people also fuel conflict in one way, because in Maasai they were encouraging their men to go and fight. So, and they are, at the same time, they are the victims because they will be left as widows, So I addressed that issue by actually, engaging them through legal procedures and by arresting them. And actually the court sanctioned them and to keep peace. Then I was moved when I got my promotion, again as a chief inspector of administration police, and I was moved to Oloitoktok. Then after Oloitoktok, then is when I was moved again to a place called Doldol in Laikipia, back to Molo during post-election violence. I was the only man who would cross through the Kalenjin those days, and Molo, Kikuyu and Molo. I was the only man who was trusted by both communities. Because for me, at night, I used to there are those who are says actually who are affected by cold. I used to go and bring sugar from Nakuru, take to the Kalenjin Wazes there at night, distribute the sugar for free. And then the other thing was the Kalenjin community, the Wazes there, actually majority of the Wazes were helping me to give me intel to prevent youth from going to fight. The Kalenjin community, they were protecting even the old Kalenjin men who grew up with them, because some of them were hosting about 25 families and people at their homes and protecting them. That is where I saw that in normal situations, if you've been living with people peacefully and interacting together, even at times of difficulties, they will always remember you. And these people supported me. I actually have my friends, those are my secrets. I normally go there, visit them, and reminding them what they did in terms of bringing peace and conflict, peace in that region. I was the first to take Professor, the late Wangari Maathai, to Keringate during the post-election, before the arrival of Anand, because of my relationship with members of the public. And when I took the late Professor Wangari Maathai there, a story that has never been shared, the women in Kalenjin land embraced that strong lead. something that touched my heart. Because he said, and this is what Wangari Maathai told me, that if it is dying, Commander, if it is dying, let me go and die because of peace. I told her, no, I give you assurance that they won't kill you. They love you. And actually, when I took Wangari Maathai saw Kalenjin women singing when they heard that she's coming. They embraced her. They played. They said, we won't kill you. Those are men. We won't kill you even if there is conflict. You've been good to us. You've been protecting the environment. We know where you belong. So when you are doing things of national interest, actually the community, if you are a neutral person, the community, entire nation understands you. So that role of being with, and that's why you should have passion to engaging with the community, because I know what it means to me, because during times of difficulties, you will need them. So Wangari Maathai, then we left, and that's time now, things started now, when they saw now. And then, after that, during that time, is when I realized even the touts played a big role in conflict, in Molo conflict during post-election violence. We said, I brought all the touts together, and I said, why don't you protect your job? Yeah, you don't have, your passengers are your area of duty. It is your office. Let us protect them. So they got into protecting their those who are traveling using Keringate, Molo, Nakuru Road. That's how we opened our roads. The touts took over and started protecting their clients. Everybody is important in this town. So the touts of Olenguroni, Keringate, Molo, and Elbagon, Nakuru, took charge of the road. They said, don't touch our clients. This is where we get our food from. And that is how we opened roads actually from Olenguroni to Nakuru, Joro, those roads. So after that, I was given, I think my commandant by then, Kinuthi Mbago, was the State House controller. So they need to reward me to approach skills on conflict. So it took me to Egypt for peacekeeping operations training. So I went for peacekeeping operations, and after that I came back and I was posted to Kakamega, where I worked for 8 years as the district administration police commander. Then I served there, and that's when I started. I didn't forget about engaging the community. This round now I started engaging when I realized there was need for blood. Is when I started the blood donations initiatives, where I walked for 250 kilometers from Kakamega to Nakuru.
We are coming to that. Maybe you can tell me what pushed you to champion for blood donations in the counties, especially Bungoma.
For Bungoma, and so when I said I had a passion to engaging the community throughout where I go, because I realized there was truth in the community. If you want your work at least to be that enjoyable, engage the community. That's the secret of police. But those who have difficulties are the ones who think they know everything, they can do. The police, they're isolated. But actually for me, the community is my power. So I started now doing the blood donations there, where I realized 2,863 pints of blood. I had partnered with Red Cross, Kenya National Blood Transfusion, and they were supporting my work. And of course, the administration police by then was supporting my initiative. I was trekking. Spend the night, tomorrow morning I trek again to Nakuru. Then thereafter is when I was moved to Migori. And then a few months there, I was moved to Bomet as the county police commander, where again I had another initiative there to change the people's perception against towards the police. During Valentine, I could give flowers to the motorists. Yeah, at least to say it's not arrest all the time. For once, at least make them be human beings, you know. And then again, I left. It is now when I was moved now to Wajir. I went to Wajir and served there again the county police commander for administration police. And my life there was enjoyable. Besides people say this area that is volatile and what. Wajir was the best for me in terms of operational areas that I've served. So I enjoyed serving there, where I engage again the community. I started scouting there again. Scouting is to, scouting has some discipline, it's not. I started now engaging youth, and then I got into a partnership with institutions where they serve these vulnerable kids. So I went there, I trying to engage, support them. Then thereafter now is when now the merger came. We were merged, and I became during 2019, I was posted as the county police commander now for Siaya. In Siaya, I started again that program, community engagement programs. In Wajir, I engaged women. Women were actually giving me more intelligence because I won their trust. I was getting more intelligence in terms of the operations for Al-Shabaab, and they were giving me more information. Why? Because of the activities I did there. So, community engagement programs are very important in police work. So I came here to Siaya, where again the community embraced me. I did my part. Now I engage on tree planting, environment conservation. Yeah, I did that, and actually modernizing the police stations there. I tried where I can, and at the same time engaging now borders, because I realized youth there, the borders were being used in violence. But actually, my target was actually to change them, create that rapport with the borders, and actually they are my best friend. If I go there with you, you'll be shocked. You see, like I'm their dad. All of them will just run towards me. It's because of how I took care of them, even during COVID. Funds from my friends from US, they were sending me money to support those. They were supporting me. I used to fuel their motorbikes. Have you ever realized that it's good when you a devil, just maybe being a devil's advocate sometimes? It's good people condemn them, but for me, I came at the right time. My friends came, supported me. I used to fuel their motorbikes during COVID. And that's when, after the COVID, I'm telling you, you could not actually attempt to commit crime there, because I will get information. But I tell them, anything here will tell me there's a suspicious character somewhere. So there's something that I learned the importance of. There are people, sometimes you think they are not important in your work, but actually, for me, they were key areas of policing. So after that is when now I was posted to Kisii, where again we served the community. And through engagement with the community, that is how I brought crime down in Kisii. Yeah, and being with the community, because I was getting more information from the community. Yeah, because once you win trust, community's trust, then is when you realize your work is easy, because they own policing. They will give you, because even few police officers can work. As long as there is that trust, community trust you with their information. If you manage the information well. The other issue that was a secret in my work is confidentiality. When community gives you information, handle it with care and give feedback. Those two issues. Handle with care the information they give you, and then give feedback. And they will take the message home. So that's how I succeeded there. And finally, I was brought to Bungoma County.
If I may ask, have you ever lost your friend or a relative due to lack of blood?
Well, in terms of blood, and you see, for me, it's about, as a humanitarian and a philanthropist, for us, we are sensitive. You don't say you have a relative who was involved in this. As police, you are involved in life-saving maybe activities. As the first aider, the first aid at the scene, you find people being rushed to hospital. And then the second thing you'll hear, they need blood. They need blood. What do? I go there and donate. There was an incident where, in Kakamega, where there was that incident, I donated my blood. That's where I started, oh, there is need for us to be blood donors, because why would you look for somebody to donate and you have blood? It doesn't make sense. You have enough blood, and nurses and doctors are asking for blood, and you're saying, let me go out there look for somebody who is willing to donate blood, and you have blood to save life. So for me it was different, and I was like, I don't want to be asked to go and look for somebody to help this. You give instructions to the relatives of the person, the victim of the accident. Then you're a human being. You heard them saying, well, let's look for blood. So I said, no, I'm here. Take blood. So I gave out. That's the time I realized the need to do campaigns, sensitize people, create awareness on the need to replenish our banks willingly, at least without asking for money. There are those who are asking for money to be paid so that they donate blood. It is life, sharing life. So for me, what encouraged me was the very first time I gave my blood to save life.
Maybe one question. In your career, what is one thing that you've been in contact with, a situation, an event, and you think, maybe I should have done it right? Or what is that one moment that you always sit down and say, as an officer, this is the best I've ever done for humanity? Two situations.
Well, there are those times, there are that moment you remember the incident in Baragoi incident, where we lost colleagues. It was a low moment in my career where we lost our officers. As a commander, wherever you are, you will feel it. As a commander, when you lose your officers, it's the saddest thing you will never erase in your mind. Yeah, and Molo. Those are two scenarios I had. In Molo, you'll find in a scene of crime, a pregnant woman with an arrow. They are both dead. You're helpless. Okay, so, and you are there. You are all over. It was spontaneous. You could not be everywhere. And people come in thousands. You are riding up and down here. At that time, that's what I'm saying. The diplomacy is good. Diplomacy is good because that's how I save lives. People would come with good numbers and maybe outnumber you. You won't kill all members of the public, but actually, if you attempt to do that, you're escalating the crime. So when they see, because you are trying to test, when you are present there, they won't commit an offense. They just try the guerrilla way of doing things. So for us, it was a scenario where you collect bodies of people, and you are there as a police officer. You're helpless. You can't help. So that's one. But the other thing is, when I went to Baragoi, the situation was like, families are waiting for their loved ones was like a month, 2 months, 3 months, 2 months. And we were like, how do we then? That place is dangerous. We can't access the place. My Inspector General of Police, Mr. Kimaiyo, appointed me as a special operation, sent me for a special operation with another colleague, the two of us, to go there and recover the remains of our colleague. This is a community. Yes, they were Turkana community, but actually the situation was volatile. It was dangerous for us even to go there. You can imagine I am from Turkana there, and they are in Samburu. For us, like, this guy is coming to spy on us, to expose us to the government. So what I did was, I actually went there for 2 weeks. 2 weeks for laying foundation and familiarize myself with the situation. And after 2 weeks, I was able to recover the remains of my colleagues. Took for DNA, and they tested positive, and then that's how we recover the remains of our colleagues.
So, Mount Elgon, we know that since independence, they don't have security station in Chapkitale. Maybe what plan do you have to ensure that they get a police post?
For us, it's about the architectural part of security, where in terms of bringing services to the community, we value information and we value our response mechanisms. If looking at the effective, or you look at the mobility, your mobility and your response strategies, you're looking at many factors that contribute to efficiency in service delivery. If you interrogate all the system and yours is just to look for the gaps in security, why are people, what is the problem in the community, how do I solve it? Yeah, many complaints coming from the members of the public. What does it mean to you? As a commander, we always analyze information received from members of the public. Yeah, it is not that you just wake up one day and say, "No, we need to put up something there." What has motivated you to do that? For us, actually, it's about information, the data collected, and you plan using the data, security information coming. So that is what is motivating us, and actually looking at that place a bit isolated. It's about 57 to 60 kilometers right from where another police station is. In terms of efficiency, you need to address something, at least make sure you can respond to all incidents within that area without even, before you seek for reinforcement from 70, 60 kilometers. So for us, is who is holding the ground, yeah, for us, before we come for response, before we reinforce, before we give support. You need to have mechanisms, at least called, even if it is not what is first aid, so to help the community. In fact, it's not only on the issue of maybe the issue of crime alone. We are there as, we are civilian police, where we use this government resource in terms of vehicles to be ambulances. Yeah, that is the time now. That's why you see we sometimes even volunteer, bring our nurses to serve in those areas so that they can get government services. We don't stick to police work alone. Sometimes you have trained teachers who are police officers. They can volunteer and teach there, yeah, during their free time. Yeah, we have professional teachers, TSC teachers actually. We have nurses trained, and they are in the police service. So we have all professionals. The only thing is now, maybe these are the engagements, but they are strategically in Nairobi and other areas and other units maybe where they have been deployed. But this case here, the issue of Mount Elgon, it's about putting our structures in place so that members of the public receive services of security that is actually closer to them, so that they can focus on development. Yeah.
And a few months you have been in Bungoma, what have you done that if you leave today, the community can still remember you?
In Bungoma, when I came here, it took me 6 months for studying the area, planning. Okay, for us, you don't just come here and say, I know everything. It took me 6 months. When I came here, the first weeks were actually on general election, by-election, so I had no time. I'm more focused on first things that come. I focus on that. So I was more focused on election, general election. There was another activity like exams. Then we went to exams. Actually it was a busy program for me. So, and again, that was actually an isolated, because that is different. About 3 months done without actually focusing on these other general activities. You leave it to other commanders on normal security programs. So when it's now that after that is when now I started now understanding this place, come up with how do I study this area, how do I do my policing work. So I'm almost there, because like 3 months I was just focused on other things, but studying the area, collecting data. But here it's not bad. in terms of security. But actually the level of security, what other areas don't have. You find that the cases like, for example, burglary, stealing, are cases that are rampant. But actually on another higher level crimes, you'll find it's about murder, but again not murder that crime, maybe there are isolated cases where maybe the criminals come and kill a woodsman. You see these are murder involving families. They are domestic issues, conflict within the family because of land, quarrels, they kill each other, that one. That one is different. The police can't actually save that situation. It's actually now engaging those like national government officers, Ngao, to start engaging people on conflict resolution issues than resorting to killing each other. These are family issues based on many factors like land disputes and conflicts, small conflicts at home, brothers fighting. Maybe somebody wamekunywa pombe pale and then wakapigana then wakauana. Those ones you can't. So here it's a bit dynamic, like it's just a matter of putting some strategies in place, small strategies, and we are able, like the crimes that are preventable, kama hizo za housebreaking and enhancing security. So for us here it is manageable.
Blood donations in Bungoma?
Yeah.
What pushed you to do blood drives in Bungoma maybe?
It is a program where, people have history about you. And especially this time of internet. Internet will remind you of what you're supposed to. People will just approach you that, hey, you've been our champion. Can we partner on this? Oh yeah, sure, because I have passion for it. Yeah, I've donated 25 times. Yeah. And I always check, do we have enough blood here? You say yes or no. Then we get into mobilizing community. Yeah. We talk to Red Cross, Kenya National Blood Transfusion. And then that's all, and other stakeholders, we get into mobilizing the community in a small way, and then we replenish our bank. And then the other activity I've been involved in is actually on sanitary towels, giving to the community. Why sanitary towels? Because of the crimes that are being reported. You find that our girls actually, when they have comfort, they focus to school, they don't drop. And when they drop, actually other youths take advantage of their vulnerability, and then early pregnancies, cases. And even some youth take advantage of our innocent kids because of their vulnerability, their financially and their families, and then they pregnant them. So I was focused something to keep them in schools, but because for women, our daughters actually value their comfort than anything else. So I got into programs of sanitary towels, and then the other one is on PWDs as part of to be their champion, at least encouraging people to support them. So I have networks of friends, Rotary Club Nakuru, and other friends like there is an hospital in Bomet. It's a non-hospital. We partnered with them. We get free wheelchairs, and we come and donate. I was doing the same in Kisii, and overall in the country we've donated approximately 5,000 wheelchairs without these crashes and other mobility devices. So it is something, the passion we have, just do wherever we do, we must always do an activity. We always do some activity to support, the community.
As we speak, at the moment, we've seen you for a few weeks, a few months ago, you were with the ODX community. It's a community that is known for environment conservation. As we speak at the moment, you are planning Everfast Mount Elgon Marathon. And besides that, you are also among those people who championed for Kamega Forest Marathon. What has you been? What has been pushing you to do this? And why is it that now you are in Bungoma, you are pushing for this Mount Elgon to be conserved?
Actually, thank you for bringing that. In Kakamega, I pushed for I was part of the Kakamega Forest Marathon. And I was an active member because I had an organization called Peace Ambassadors Integration Organization that I'm the founder of it. So I founded that, and because of that I was a stakeholder in that. So what I did was, after that and after being posted here, I was motivated to, because of the issue. All the time when we went there, we were concerned about planting trees. We were going for planting trees activities, and also our president came up again calling for people to do the same. Then I said, why are we, are we focused on protecting the forest? We are putting more efforts in terms of trying to bring back the forest. Yeah, and what about protecting the forest? So that's why I've again pushed. I've come up with an initiative, the marathon, again to encourage people to fundraise, to bring the international community, friends who can support in any way, like a Badea. We fence this forest as we grow trees here. We are able to protect this, whatever we've done in that forest. Under that initiative, under the Mount Elgon Forest Marathon, we have other activities like restoration of the forest and rehabilitation of the forest, where we will encourage the communities, the institutions, to go and be given a portion of land there to restore the forest, rehabilitate the forest, the banking institutions, learning institutions, to go there and be given a portion to restore the forest. But first, as we do that, let us think of fencing the forest, protecting ecosystem, promote tourism, so that the community there can benefit. The community can sell their potatoes, the community can sell their... It is food security. We protect our and also water towers. So why that initiative? It is because of the benefits that are found in that mountain. There is an opportunity there. And if we do this, we will have enough food for our country. We will have enough, at least we will protect that, and people will even promote their culture there, and they will earn from it, as Maasai do. Maasai don't hunt the animals. Maasai actually protect animals. The same thing we want here is, let us not hunt our animals, because it is food in form of money. It is an income generating activity if we protect animals. I went there to Ogek community. They are lovely people because the trees are actually hanging close to the road. Even those ones that are dead trees there, they don't touch. And some go burn forest, like charcoals. It is not good. Let us conserve the environment by actually being realistic in our plans, that to allow the communities there have honey, whatever, beehives, whatever, so that we can get enough from them. Yeah. Yes.
Mode of fencing, and why did you choose that mode of fencing?
Pardon?
You are going to use a very new technology mode of fencing, and what pushed you to use that mode of fencing?
And actually, you look at the country is shifting its thinking to green energy, and where we are avoiding this emission, because of the industrialization, So they are shifting from that, so that we have this, at least, scientifically you realize that the oxygen comes from plants. So by so doing that, you don't want to affect the solar, the so-called the ozone layer, which actually will bring the issues of weather, climate change, that will affect actually even and bring drought. So for us, we are more focused on things that don't affect the climate.
Maybe my last question, apart from conserving, is it that it is hitting the upper side, the deforestation and the mountains? Is it because it is hitting the other side, that is why it has pushed you to fence it?
And actually, this is a clarion call to everybody. It's about all of us going for it. It is not about this portion of the world. It is actually the entire world shifting its attention to clean the mess that was there. People did not foresee what was coming. They thought maybe there was a natural energy that will change the whole thing without actually looking at the cause of destruction of the environment. Actually, because we were like focused on wood, everything. But they didn't realize the other things that will make chairs. They didn't realize there was something that will make maybe beds. So bamboo, we didn't know that bamboo can make good furniture. But later, people come realize, oh, there's something nice than wood. These are the other things that actually you go and do logging there in the forest, killing the whole thing. So, and there are other animals that benefit from that. So, for me, the species of animals that are found there, that if you cut these trees where some trees actually, there are trees where some animals associate with. So in an environment like that one, there are many species that benefit from the forest and other trees. So for us, it's a clarion call for our world to go for cleaner energy, conserve environment, and we should not wait. You remember Professor Wangaremata started this thing a long time ago about environment. She saw these problems coming, and then God speaks through people. But when we ignore people talking about some things that are important to us, that are dear to us, and then we just ignore because of our selfish interest, we will leave this world one day. But actually, what are you leaving behind? You are given something that of value, but you destroyed it because of your greed and selfishness. This is something that we need to forget. Sometimes let us sacrifice some things. You don't have to grab the entire place because you want to be rich, cut the forest, and tomorrow like plant again trees. No. Start conserving now and have a peaceful future to tomorrow.
What the 10, 15, 20 years that you've been in the service, there are those who have been in the service like you, but they are not doing whatever you are doing. Maybe what is your message to those officers in the service and also those yearning to come into the service? Because if I look at you, you are not like that an officer. So kazi yako ni kuserve the community. Na unakaa kwa community. So the name, like the title you are carrying, it's not like something for you. Your duty is just to serve the community. What message do you have to those officers, those young guys who want to be in service?
If you have passion for something, do it. If you love playing football, play it. And how do you play football? Your football, does your football benefit people, or is it just for your benefit? You remember there's something that people don't understand here. If you have passion for something, what benefits are there for other people to benefit? You know, like for example, you are a doctor. Being a doctor, you are employed. Then I'm asking the same question. If you are employed as a doctor, you are employed and you are earning, and you whatever earnings you get is for your own interest. But I'm asking this question. How do you use your professionalism to solve problems in the society out of obligation? There are people who do services out of obligation because they are paid to do that. But actually we are asking the other question of humanity. This one. What have you done willingly to support the community out of obligation? So my way of doing things is, yes, I'm employed, but what are the things that makes me unique from others? Because for me is I'm paid, yes, but I want to support my community because I know I am a solution, part of the solution to the problems in the community. And in fact, if you went to university, you did a special course on something, you become an expert in that area, those skills were meant to be solutions to the society, not to earn to be a salary. You draw salary and sit. That's selfishness. It has no benefit. It's like you've been a professor in Kenya and a professor in a foreign country. These are two different people. Why? If you ask one professor inventions, have you invented anything? Then what is it meaningful? How can you stand here and say, I am a professor? Okay, you are a professor. Tell us your achievements. I wrote books, and those books, did you give them for free? No, you sold them. Why did you sell them? Is it benefiting some people here? If you told me you wrote a book, and whatever comes from that book will go to help us educate some children, that degree of yours has value. That title, being professor, has value. A professor with no value, I'm telling you, that title doesn't work. It is not a solution. So for me, if you have a doctorate on something, you need to be a solution to the you invented the aeroplane, yes, take, that's number one. And then you are a bulb, take, you are a good guy because what about your title in Kenya? You have titles everywhere for beer drinking here. You know, people with titles, we sit here and no. We don't act that way. The good professor will tell you, I wrote a book, and this book, I'm donating it to an orphanage. I will sell this one, whatever will come here will support this orphanage. Take, that one is the best professor you'll have. But you see, some here are very good, are renowned lecturers, renowned. Are they paid money? Yes. When they go their facilitation, they are paid facilitation. Are there things that I've done voluntarily without demanding for pay? I'm looking for that professor. I'm looking for that professor who does things voluntarily with no pay. And that's the best professor, and that's the best doctor with titles. But the things you tell me, you've been a professor in this, I've been blah blah titles. No. I don't say that. You'll just say those titles. But how has it benefited the community? How has it changed the lives of people? The people who have benefited from you. The only thing God gave us is this. He gave you skills to be a doctor. Gave me skills to be a pilot. Gave me skills to be a captain. Why? Because you have a responsibility to take care of others. Minus people, those titles are useless. There are those ones who came up with Obel. It was called who? There's one guy who was looking for HIV/AIDS pills or whatever. Those are the people we are looking for, who are looking for solutions for our society. There is this gentleman, M-Pesa guy, who came up with the M-Pesa app and whatever. Those are the people we are looking for. Now, we talk in terms of the benefits of your brain in our society. You will say, I'm a good lecturer, fine. Am I paying for school fees? Yes. What will sustain the school? Yes. How have you done volunteerism? I want you to volunteer to work that will benefit out of your obligation.